Hey, what's up? It's Daniel. I am going to quickly demonstrate a really crazy exploit that we had submitted to us in our bug bounty relating to password resets, token stealing, and Laravel. So this is a vulnerability which allows an attacker to alter the domain of the password reset link that is sent in the email, causing that link to actually go to a URL controlled by the attacker to allow them to steal a password reset token. So I am going to demonstrate that real quick. So I'm just running Burp Suite, which is a pen testing tool that allows you to run an HTTP proxy and intercept requests and do stuff. So right now the intercept's turned off. I'm just going to turn it on. And I'm going to go back to the browser, and I am going to, this is a regular Laravel install. Nothing is special about this. The only thing I've had to change is you have to add a trusted proxy. So this is a setting that people would use if they're running Laravel behind like an Nginx reverse proxy or something like that. It's very common. Any website that uses load balancers or anything is going to have this value set. It can be set to anything. There's not like a good configuration and bad configuration. If trusted proxy is set and you don't have Nginx configured in a very specific way to set your X forwarded host header, which is like crazy, and I didn't know about it, and no one I work with knew about it. So hopefully some of you also don't know about it and can go fix this. You're vulnerable. So basically the default settings are vulnerable if you're running behind a reverse proxy. So here's what we're going to do. We're just going to send a password reset email to admin@kolb.com. We're going to email it. So that now has been intercepted by Burp. So we're going to go over here and we're going to see, okay, here is the request. So I'm just going to add a quick header, X forwarded host, and I'm going to set it to evil.test, which is another Laravel app I'm running here. So I'm going to forward that and turn off the interceptor. I'm going to go back to Chrome. We have emailed your password reset link. If I go into MailHog, you're going to see that I now have an email, and the URL of the password reset is evil.test. If I click reset password here, it's going to take me to evil.test/reset password with the token in the URL and the email in the URL. This website could do anything. This website could just steal that token and then redirect the user somewhere else, and then the attacker would have until that token expires to go ahead and reset that user's password. All that being said, here I'm just creating a nice button that says pwn target, and it takes me right to the password reset. So this is a token stealing attack. People could use it to take over user accounts. It does require some user interaction. The user has to click a link in their email, but I could see it being very likely that if a user received a password reset email, that some of them might click this, right? And because you can do this for any user account that you have an email address for, if you could get some email addresses that you knew existed, you could send out tons and tons and tons of these and just hope that one of them worked. So this is really crazy. I'm going to show you how to fix it real quick. So we're in VS Code here. So this is the source of the issue. So in the Symfony HTTP Foundation request, there's this get host method. And when you use the URL helper in Laravel, it ultimately ends up calling all the way down to this get host to get like the host name for your URL. And one of the conditions here is if this is from trusted proxy, which will be true if you are running behind Nginx reverse proxy, and host equals this get trusted values X forwarded host. So basically what this is saying is if I'm behind a reverse proxy, check to see if there is an X forwarded host header, and if so, use that as the domain name, which is basically allowing this entire attack. To fix this, Laravel has this middleware that is built by default called Trust Host. It is disabled by default in the kernel, but it is commented out just like this. So if you just comment this and save it, that will prevent this attack, because what this includes is this all subdomains of application URL. So basically this will reject any of those requests if the X forwarded host header is not a subdomain of your app URL. So if this was enabled, that attack would not work. So anyway, I have a PR open right now to ask Taylor to basically make this the default setting to have this enabled. And there's some discussion going on right now. It seems like it would affect multi-tenant users and stuff. So, ultimately that's like a prioritization question for Laravel. So I'm not gonna like insist that I'm right. But anyway, this is a super interesting exploit. I had never seen this before. We've got four or five devs at InterNACHI, and we none of us had ever seen this before. None of us knew about this. So I'm guessing that if none of us knew about it, there's got to be a ton of people out there who don't know about this. And excuse me. And you should go see if your websites are vulnerable. So yeah, this was submitted to us by in our bug bounty program that we run at InterNACHI, and we've fixed it now. But running a bug bounty program is awesome because you find all of these crazy vulnerabilities that you had no idea about, but other people did. I will tag the guy who submitted it to our bug bounty in the replies to this tweet. So yeah, thanks much. This is super crazy.